Hello and welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all Pennsylvania students, sponsored by the Pennsylvania Association for College Admission Counseling and StriveScan. PACAC is a nonprofit association comprised of more than 1,200 school counselors, college admission counselors, independent education consultants, and other professionals responsible for guiding students through the important transition from high school to post-secondary options. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping items before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at pacac.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at that same website, pacac.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters.
Thank you so much, Mary. My name is Rachel Mason, and I represent the University of Massachusetts Amherst. Not only am I here in the admissions office, but I'm also an alum of the university. So I'm so glad that we were able to connect with you today. I'm pleased to say that I have two of my colleagues along for this visit as well. First, with me as a staff member in the enrollment office is Alex. Alex, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure, I would love to. As Rachel said, my name is Alex Seymour. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions here at UMass. I have been at the University of Massachusetts for 7 years. I am your regional representative. So if you have any questions, please put your questions in the Q&A box and I will get back to you as soon as I can. If I don't have the answer to the question, I will leave my email address in there for you and I will get back to you in the next couple of days. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. Also with us today is current student Liz. I refer to her as a colleague in terms of helping us promote and talk about the university. Actually, I think in terms of the roles here today, she has one of the most important as a authentic voice of the experience that UMass Amherst has to offer. Liz, would you like to take a moment to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thanks, Rachel. Hi, everyone. My name is Liz. I am a senior biomedical engineering major at UMass. I also have a minor in philosophy and part of the Commonwealth Honors College. I'm part of the tour guide group here, hence why I'm joining Rachel and Alex today to help you answer any questions that you have about the university and hopefully give you a little bit more insight on my personal experience as a student at UMass.
Fantastic. Well, let us get started then. As I said earlier, I'm sorry that we are not able to welcome you to campus ourselves, but I am so grateful for this opportunity to be able to connect with you virtually. Rest assured that before you come to campus for new student orientation in the fall of 2021, we will be ready to welcome you with open arms. We have a lot of information to go over today in the 45 minutes that we have. Certainly we'll begin by talking about the University of Massachusetts Amherst. We will hear some more from Liz and her perspectives. So definitely feel free to throw those questions into the chat. Alex will send them our way. But ultimately, we hope that we are going to persuade you that the university is well worth your consideration and walk you through the application process. We'll leave time at the end to answer all your questions. There's nothing more that we like to talk about than the university, not just in terms of academics, but also our community, our opportunities for research and extracurricular activities, every aspect that makes the university such a unique and amazing place. And then, of course, to continue the conversation. Really, this is an introduction to the university. There are lots of opportunities virtually to connect more with us in the enrollment office, with our faculty, and of course with our current students as well. But first, let's talk a little bit about the university itself. UMass Amherst is the flagship campus for the universities in Massachusetts. We are the largest, coming in at about 23,000 undergraduate students and 6,000 graduate students. So nearly 30,000 people on campus when we are up and running. We are located in the quaint New England town of Amherst. I myself came from California, so I can tell you that it really is an amazing place that just pulls you in and makes you feel so at home. and reflective of that, Amherst is consistently voted among the top 10 college towns in the country. It's really a wonderful area to be a college student. What are some of the things that you enjoy about being in Amherst, Liz?
Wow, where do I begin? Amherst in itself is one of the best college towns in the US, so you really feel that as soon as you get to this area. Not only is it surrounded by beautiful foliage in the fall and beautiful scenery throughout the fall, the winter, and the spring as well, but there's actually a lot of the things that you see downtown is catered towards UMass college students in general. So many eateries off of campus, but also on campus as well. There's too many things to do that I don't know that I've crossed them all off my list now that I'm a senior, but going hiking is a very common thing you see among students. I love to go ice skating in our Mullen Center during the weekends as well. Amherst just in itself has so much to offer in terms of nature. So we have a really big outing club scene on campus, and students will go hiking. We have our very own cabin in New Hampshire as well. So they'll take weekend trips up to New Hampshire's cabin. Really, any day during the week, there's always an event happening at UMass, is what we like to say. And if you ever get lost in the sauce of all the events that is happening on campus, then you can definitely check out the email that UMass will send you every Thursday, just to let you know the different events that different clubs are hosting on campus and what the campus-wide events that are happening for that weekend are.
Perfect. Thank you so much. You know, the university really has so much to offer. And one reason that I'm sure you're considering applying to UMass Amherst is that we are consistently ranked within the top 30 public universities across the country, offering over 100 graduate degree programs, minors, and certificates, which we'll talk some more about. And Liz definitely hinted at this, but we're also very proud of the fact that the university has been rated #1 campus dining by Princeton Review for 5 years running. So of all the things that we miss right now on campus, at least me personally, dining is definitely right up there. One of the questions that we get a lot is, what does a successful UMass student look like? In my opinion, it's a student who takes advantage of the vast opportunities that are available to our undergraduate students, both in and outside of the classroom. They are really taking their education into their own hands and are ready. They're eager to revolutionize the future through innovation, research, self-growth. I'm going to actually show you a quick video that captures some of those powerful moments from our current students.
We are the revolutionaries of today.
Not waiting for change,
but creating it.
By asking questions and questioning answers.
Because our calling
is a better tomorrow. At the University of Massachusetts Amherst,
a revolutionary spirit runs through our veins.
It inspires us
to think in new ways.
To challenge convention.
Not to simply be different,
but to actually make a difference.
In Massachusetts, the place where it all began.
By looking into space, thinking there must be more.
And then going out and proving it.
Where we don't see obstacles,
but opportunities. That's what revolutionaries do.
We embrace the freedom to dream bigger.
To dig deeper.
And to never back down from the impossible.
Our future is in our very own hands.
We are pioneers.
Builders.
Unconventional doers.
Committed to the relentless pursuit of progress. Be revolutionary.
We are the University of Massachusetts Amherst.
I always enjoy that video whenever I see it, especially as an alum of the university. So let's talk a little bit about our students. At UMass, students come from all parts of the world, enriching our community with diversity in terms of gender, race, ethnicity, geographic location, culture, academic interests, and so much more. It truly is an empowering campus community where you are not only being prepared to be fully skilled in your major, right? But we're also supporting students' commitment and drive to positively impact their communities and the world. So really to leave their mark, whether that be at the local, the national, or the international level. We are so incredibly proud of our student body. In terms of the nearly 30,000 students on campus, nearly 30% are students of color. For many, they are first gen, meaning they're first in their families to attend college. They come from diverse socioeconomic backgrounds. We have our students represent every state in the nation, as well as international as well. So truly, it is a diverse campus, and we are very proud of that fact. You know, as a campus with thousands of students who come from all these different backgrounds, we work hard to continuously improve our campus community, which is necessary. We want every student to feel welcome and comfortable in an environment where they can easily learn and flourish to their greatest. Our institutional goal is to establish UMass Amherst as a community of choice, not only for our students, but also for our staff and faculty, that exemplifies the power of diverse perspectives and mutual respect. And here are some examples of programs and initiatives at UMass to combat racism and build inclusive community. They include respectful workplace training series, critical incident team, campus academy initiatives for MUPD. You can actually see the full list here rather than me just going through it. But we truly do take this as a core building block of our community. In addition to these, a campaign was launched actually a few years ago, which had a main message of hate has no home at UMass. Through this campus-wide initiative, we stand united and support diversity and inclusion. Now more than ever, we must show that we reject all forms of bigotry and hate. Together, we affirm UMass Amherst's commitment to ensuring a safe and welcoming living, learning environment for every member of our community. It's important not only to our administration, but to all of our faculty and staff to ensure that this is truly a commitment that we renew on a daily basis. It's not one that can be made at one point and then left behind. It's something that needs constant, diligent attention. There are many student organizations on campus that help support all types of students, whether that be in our cultural centers, disability service, religious organizations, the Stonewall Center, which was actually the first of its kind supporting LGBTQ youth on campuses and universities. We have a student success center as well, all truly important to maintaining that diversity and supportive culture. Let's talk a little bit now about academics. We offer over 90 majors across 10 schools and colleges. UMass is yours to create and follow your passions. The academics here allow students to shape their interests in many ways. You can choose one or two majors if you like to double major. There's also 90 plus minors and certificates offered. If you don't see what you want, you can also design your own major through our BDIC program. So really, there's no limit to the combinations that you can create and to experience while you're on campus. Liz, what do you think is the hallmark of the academic experience, or what has been yours?
I think it's really the freedom that UMass has given to mix and match my education, no matter how outrageous it may sound. So just me personally, I have, my degree in biomedical engineering, but I have a minor in philosophy. And I feel like in most universities, it may be difficult to combine a STEM discipline and a humanities discipline, but it's actually incredibly easy at UMass. They leave a lot of room in your schedule. They want to see that you are a well-rounded student, which is achieved through a lot of our general education courses. I don't know that I would have been immersed into the realm of philosophy had I not taken my medical ethics philosophy course my freshman year. So that was a gen ed course. Gen eds are kind of your typical science, math, social sciences, those type of classes that you'll see in your high school experiences, but we also offer them at a college level, and all students at UMass are required to take those general education courses. And it's a great way to figure out outside of your major what exists out there, and it really does make you a well-rounded student. I know students who have now taken that path and combined different disciplines. My friend is a public health, international relations, and a science major. So they combined these three disciplines and kind of were offered many job placements in terms of the world. And now he's currently working for the CIA. So different ways to combine your disciplines really make yourself appeal to whatever career you want to do outside of the university or pursue a secondary education. My friend was a woman empowerment major. She actually did that through the BDIC program that we offer here. And she's an entrepreneur and started her own company where she is actually a consultant for other women who are looking to start their own companies as well. So really the mix and matching of disciplines here is so simple and so easy. I think it's nice that UMass doesn't expect you to know what you want to do for the rest of your life as soon as you get to the university. We have exploratory tracks for you to be able to explore different majors within a college. So you aren't placed into an undecided program. You kind of have more guidance there, and you get to experience, different majors in all different disciplines. And then from there, you can kind of really decide, oh, this is what I'm really passionate in, and this is what I want to pursue as a degree. So in terms of academics, I think it's just the world is endless here at UMass, and if you'll see different types of students kind of mix and match their own thing. So I don't think I've ever seen a student where I haven't been like, wow, it's so interesting how you've taken so many different disciplines and combined it into one.
Oh, fantastic. And that was great to hear about how you kind of discovered your interest in your minor and that was a simple process to add. It truly does. You can have an idea of what you want to pursue and then to arrive on campus and really be open to new ideas. In terms of considering majors and which ones that our students are applying to, we are a competitive university, but we do have majors that are particularly popular and as a result are more challenging to be admitted into. We have to limit the number of students we admit into them. Our competitive majors include the Eisenberg School of Business, Nursing, Computer Information Science, and Engineering, which Liz, maybe you can talk about applying to a competitive major. What was your experience there?
I actually came into the university as a biochemistry major, so clearly I had no idea what I really wanted to do before I got to UMass, but I met with a couple of advisors actually prior to coming to UMass. I met with the Dean of the College of Engineering. They were all very welcoming in terms of me exploring my tracks and different majors that I was looking into. The College of Engineering is one of those competitive majors. Besides the College of Nursing, all four other ones that Rachel mentioned are actually you can apply into once you get to the university as well. So let's say you aren't quite sure you want to do business and you enter the university as an economics major, then you can definitely go ahead and go talk to our advisors in the Eisenberg School of Management. Then they'll be able to set you up so that you can transfer into the college with no problem. I find that because we have these competitive programs, I've really met really intelligent students during this program, and applying into the college is really simple, and I'm really grateful that the College of Engineering was so willing to help me in terms of transferring into the major. So I've had a really good experience thus far with changing majors and transferring in.
That's fantastic, and it's so good to know that the process of transferring is relatively simple. We're a supportive community across campuses, not competitive in terms of the individual schools and colleges which the majors fall under. It's really about helping students find what their passion is. Thank you also for touching on the topic of nursing. Nursing is a highly competitive major at the university. We received nearly 2,000 applications for 64 slots. So students are either admitted to nursing or they're not. It's not a major that you can transfer into, but all the others, including the competitive majors, are available for students to transfer. There is, of course, a process, but we have a very strong advising team in each of the schools and colleges that can guide you through that process and talk about what your options are and to help you get to your ultimate goal. The Honors College at the university, Commonwealth Honors College, is not a separate college. It's very much integrated within the university. You can be in any major and be in the Honors College. How it works is that you take 1 to 2 honors classes a semester. They're small classes capped at about 25 students. You have the option of living in the honors housing, which is a bonus because it has air conditioning. Doesn't make a big difference most of the year, but when it does, it's really nice. And then at the end of your time at the university, you engage in creating a thesis, and then you're able to graduate with honors. You don't apply to the Commonwealth Honors College. We review every application to the university and consider it for admissions to the Honors College as well. But don't worry, if you're not initially admitted into the Honors College, the majority of students actually who pursue honors degree apply after 1 semester at the university. So there really are 2 paths to join that community of scholars. Liz, you're not in the Honors College, are you? Or do you have friends that have had experience there?
Oh, I am in the Honors College.
You are. I didn't want to make the assumption. I figured if I was going to go one way, I'd go with the no rather than the other.
Yeah, no worries.
Can you talk about your experience in the Honors College?
Yeah. So as Rachel mentioned, I'm actually one of the students that applied into the Honors College once I got to the university. And it really is a simple process. The Honors College is all encompassing in terms of majors and types of students. So they really encourage students to apply in once they get here as well. So my experience with the CHC has been incredibly eye-opening, I think. It's opened me to the realm of tissue engineering, which is where I decided to do my senior thesis on. I'm actually currently working through the finals of that right now, and it is quite a rigorous process, but I do think it's well worth all the work that I've put into it thus far. The CHC offers the thesis program, so at the end of your senior year, you'll have a physical paper, kind of like a long research paper, if you will, that you can show to other companies and other graduate programs and say, hey, this is what I've kind of completed throughout my 4 years at UMass. This is where I took my education. I incorporated it into an actual paper. It's actually very common for CHC students to actually get their thesis then published. So I'm currently working on a publication right now with my mentor that I've been working with all throughout my college career. And it's a really great program if you are looking to kind of go into graduate school, because this is a great preparation for you to write your dissertation or those papers that are going to be coming up. If you're interested in research, it's a great way to get involved, not just in STEM, but also all across any different majors. We have research happening in every single department, and the CHC program kind of guides you in that sense to completing a big research project over the course of your academic career. So I really enjoyed it. I've actually had friends who completed their Commonwealth Honors College thesis, and other companies have discovered it. So my friend Alex actually got discovered by Apple, and they were really interested in his computer science project that he had done through the Commonwealth Honors College, and they actually recruited him to work there. So he's out there working with Apple right now, and that was all thanks to his thesis that happened to be published. So I think it's a great program. It's a great community. It's a great way to take our large university and then make a smaller one for yourself, and kind of, mix and match in terms of the communities that you're looking to build at UMass. And this is just one of the great ones that we have to offer.
Absolutely. I love the way that Alex, the dean of the college, describes CHC as a community of scholars within a university of opportunities. I always love to snag her tagline there. And it truly is a university full of opportunities. And we understand that the university is not all just about schoolwork here. UMass truly supports students' personal growth and development outside the classroom in several ways. UMass is a leader in having students get practical experience. We have research experience for all students in all majors that students can begin taking part of as early as their freshman year. We also have opportunities for internship and co-ops that really give our students real world experience in their fields of study, so that they're not only building on their academic experience, but also preparing themselves as they go into their professions, whichever they are choosing to pursue. And I know that you've had a lot of experience, Liz, in the area of research. Could you speak about that too?
Yeah, definitely. So there's kind of different levels of research that you can do through UMass. One is academic research on our campus. We are a Research One university, meaning we get a lot of federal funding to conduct our research on this campus. You'll notice that a lot of our professors are actually sponsored by big name companies. Even NASA is one of our big sponsors for the university. So if you're looking to do research, this is definitely the right place to start. Our RS office, which is our Office of Undergraduate Research and Studies, can help you find research on our campus, but also off of our campus as well. That kind of leads into my next portion of research internships that you can do over the summer. So my freshman year, I wanted to do research, and I actually stayed at the university, and I was sponsored by the Commonwealth Honors College to conduct my research. So they paid for me to stay on campus and to do my research on campus. So you can do something like that, but you can also do research elsewhere as an intern. This is really important because really companies at the end of your senior year, now that I'm applying for full-time jobs, are looking for experiences that you've done throughout your college that are diverse and that you've done academic research, but also outside and done industry research as well. So our career services is absolutely phenomenal. I cannot boast about them enough. We have our very own career services that is school-wide, so they can help you build a resume, write a cover letter, help you get in touch with other alumni that may be working at a company that you're interested in. They also offer mock interview sessions. They've honestly been such a lifesaver for me finding internships and full-time jobs at the university. I actually scored my last internship. I worked at Teleflex Medical as an R&D engineering intern, and I actually scored that through an alumni. The Commonwealth Honors, the Career Center was like, hey, you should reach out to any UMass alum that may be working at that company. And I happened to do that, and they were so nice. You'd be surprised how vast spread our alumni network actually is, and they are always willing to help a fellow UMass student. So I scored my internship through that. I know plenty of other students that have gotten referrals into companies through that program as well. We also have a platform called Handshake, which is really good for internships because Handshake is a UMass-wide LinkedIn essentially, and you have your profile, and recruiters actually go on Handshake to look at your profile, and they are specifically looking to recruit UMass students. So it's great that you see that these internships are kind of reserved for UMass students to be able to get. Other UMass alumni will actually use that same platform to look for other UMass students to hire into their company. You can see that the UMass community is really tight-knit even after graduation. So you can see really like the number of companies that I've applied to simply because I know another UMass alum that works there is quite incredible. And I really have the career services and our alumni network to thank for the internship opportunities that I've had and the job opportunities that I will have moving forward.
Fantastic. I really feel like I should just turn the mic over to you, Liz. I'm so grateful you are here with us today. Let's talk a little bit more about opportunities outside the classroom and off of campus. There are so many different ways that students are able to explore the world and to expand their educational experiences. And we appreciate the fact that a lot of that can happen off campus as well, which is why study away programs are so important, and we put much emphasis on offering them. Students can actually begin participating in study away as early as the spring semester of their sophomore year. It is true that right now, because of the pandemic, the opportunities are non-existent, but that office will pick right back up once it is safe to do so. When we talk about study away, we think about it in three different levels. First, we actually think about it locally. The university is part of what is known as the 5 College Consortium. In addition to the University of Massachusetts Amherst, right here in the Pioneer Valley, we are also home to 4 additional colleges: Amherst, Hampshire, Mount Holyoke, and Smith colleges. As members of the 5 College Consortium, students can actually take courses at any of those 4 other campuses, 1 or 2 per semester. So you're expanding the vast array of faculty available at the university and also able to learn from the amazing faculty at those other distinguished campuses. There is a public transportation system that helps to transport students between these campuses. And it really is amazing the types of courses students are able to take. Anything from very specialized history courses, for example, to skydiving is a course offered at Hampshire College. So really taking the vast offerings at our university and expanding them even further. Then, of course, there's also domestic travel abroad, where students are able to travel within the United States. Certainly, Hawaii, California, and Florida are incredibly popular, but Montana is actually the #1 state that students travel to because of our agricultural program. So there's a lot of surprises within there. And then, of course, there is the traditional study abroad in terms of international study. We do offer programs on all 7 continents, including Antarctica. We have a professor who goes there every few years to study penguins. I have to say, I find penguins incredibly cute, but not enough to go to Antarctica. Not that fond of the cold. But I think what's really great is even in the midst of this pandemic, the support that the office was able to offer to students in terms of getting them back to campus was extraordinary. We are truly committed to our students, whether they are on campus every semester or choose to study away. Liz, I don't know if you had experience with study abroad or any of your friends that perhaps you would like to chime in on?
Yeah, I'd love to. I personally did a language program in South Korea for a intensive about 2-month program. And over the summer after my sophomore year, I really enjoyed that program. It was great to meet students from other universities studying the language, and it was a cultural immersive program. So we actually went around, explored a lot of the city, and explored a lot of the traditions of South Korea. Some other study abroad programs that my friends have gone to have been quite incredible. I've heard many stories. My friend traveled to Geneva, Switzerland, and she actually did a study abroad program there. Not only was she studying public health, so she was actually able to intern for the World Health Organization, which is pretty much the mecca of public health, where every public health student hopes to, work there someday. But she was able to get that internship through our International Program Office, which is our IPO office that runs our study abroad program. They are absolutely incredible in terms of helping you find a good study abroad program that you see compatible with your schedule and that you are passionate about, but also helping you find internships and helping you with your visa in terms of getting that internship abroad. So it's a completely different abroad experience according to how you want to shape that. My friend who went to Florence, Italy to study abroad there, she actually traveled every single weekend with her program. So literally every single weekend I had to call her and ask her what country she was in because I wasn't sure where she was traveling to for that weekend. But it's really incredible to see how my friends and how myself have been able to shape our study away program. And the International Program Office will actually help you finance your study abroad program as well. So if you're a little bit worried about, I'm not sure how these costs are going to be compared to my UMass finances, then the IPO office can help you. They offer $100,000 worth of scholarships to our students every single semester just to help them study abroad. So really, it's an opportunity that you shouldn't miss, I think, here. Every single major is welcome to study abroad. We have no restrictions for any of our competitive majors, even our nursing class. The whole sophomore class actually goes to Australia most of the time to study abroad. They have a program there for our nursing students. So it's really great that UMass encourages us to become more worldly through our international study abroad program. So I would highly encourage you to look into that. If you know coming into college that you want to study abroad, then I encourage you to go to the IPO office as early as possible because they love planning ahead and making sure that that fits into your schedule.
No, that's a great example of how you really shouldn't sell yourself or your experiences short. If you think you might be interested in something, let us explore those possibilities with you and see what we can actually pull together. You'd be amazed at the number of resources available to our students so that we can really help them fulfill not only their pursuit of their education, but also perhaps fulfill some dreams along the way. It is all possible here in Western Massachusetts. I want to remind you, since we are coming closer to the end of this program, still got another 15 minutes though, please do feel free to send your questions into our Q&A. I'm sure Alex will be happy to start answering those or send them our way once they come up. But let's spend a little time now talking about student life. It's so important, especially for our out-of-state students. All of our freshmen are actually required to live on campus no matter where you're coming to. So the community is very important. And maybe you could talk about one or two things that you think is important for our students to know, Liz?
Yeah, definitely. I think coming to UMass, especially living on campus, there's definitely things that you can explore. I was really worried about who my roommate was going to be, since most of our first year students are placed in doubles or triples. They will have a roommate or two. So there's 3 different ways that UMass likes to assign your roommate. One is to go random, and you fill out a quick questionnaire, and UMass assigns someone for you. That program is actually foolproof. I've never seen it fail personally. Some of my best friends were roommates by complete random, and I can't believe that it was random because they're literally perfect for each other. I found my roommate through the UMass Facebook group. So once you're admitted into the university, you get admitted into the UMass class of whatever you are Facebook group. And I wrote a quick blurb about myself on that page, and I stalked my roommate, she stalked me, and then we actually lived together all 4 years. So it actually really worked out in my favor. She's one of my best friends today. So that can work out for you as well. And then another one is a mutual request. So if you know a buddy that's coming to UMass, or a friend of a friend of a friend that's coming to UMass, then you can actually request them to be your roommate, and they can request you, and you can have your roommate that way. I lived on campus my freshman and sophomore year, and honestly, I kind of regret not living there all 4 years, just because I love being on campus. I lived in Southwest, which is almost like a little city in of itself. I've seen many areas on campus as well. I think Orchard Hill and Central have the best view of the sunset. Not to mention Orchard Hill has the milkshake shop right inside of their dorm building. So really, if you're looking to get out of bed and go grab a milkshake, then Orchard Hill is for you. But in terms of the different communities, I think it's great. I was part of a RAP program, which is a residential academic program, and I was part of one called Perspectives in Health Topics. So RAPs are only open to our first year students, and you can actually, it's either interest-based or major-based. So we have a couple major-based RAPs, and then we have a couple interest-based RAPs. I was in an interest-based RAP, and everyone on my floor was a pre-med student, which I previously was. So being on that floor, it was great because I had all my classes with the people on my floor. We took a general education class together. That's kind of what RAPs do. And then you will actually have a class right inside of your building. So I would literally wake up out of bed, knock on everyone's door because my room was on the end of the floor, and we would all walk downstairs together and do our class together. And I really enjoyed that. Those people that I met on that floor are still my best friends today. 50% of our students will choose to do that RAP program, and 50% won't. So it's, again, entirely up to you. If you want to live on a floor with all engineering majors or all biology majors, then by all means, you are welcome to do that. But if you are looking for a more diverse experience, then maybe you can go for an interest-based floor where we have, theater-based floors, we have entrepreneurship-based floors. They're really great in terms of selection, and I highly encourage you to check it out. RAPs are first come, first served. So the sooner you know what you want to do, then that might be a great way to kind of come into a smaller community right off the bat, coming to the Long UMass campus.
Fantastic. I completely agree. It's a great way to tie yourself in and take this large university and really find people that you connect with from the first day you're on campus for new student orientation. We really truly take our students' well-being into mind, not just in terms of physical safety, but also in terms of their overall well-being, whether that be in terms of mental health, in terms of physical activity, dietary needs, and so forth. We really want our students to be well-rounded, balanced, and able to experience all the great opportunities the campus has to offer. Certainly, COVID has been something that has been the top of our mind now. It's really created a challenge for us, as it has for so many, excuse me. I talk about COVID and then I sneeze, totally allergy related, no pun intended there. But we do take it very seriously, and you can access the university's response to COVID on our website. It's constantly being updated as we respond to new understandings and the situation, but we do look forward to the time when we can safely welcome our students back to campus. So let's talk about the application process. UMass Amherst does use the Common Application. It is the one way to apply to the university. And we are just getting now ready to begin reviewing applications. We engage in what we refer to as a holistic review of all of our applications, which means all the information that we take, that we gather as part of your application is taken into consideration when making a decision. So let's go through each of those pieces of the process. First, of course, is the essay. This is your opportunity to really express your individuality, give us your unique perspectives. In particular, we want to hear about challenges you may have experienced in life, what your impact on your community has been, and what you would bring to our campus community. Supplemental questions really do help add to that entire process. For example, don't just write off the "why do you want to come to UMass" question, or "why are you selecting the major you're selecting?" This really is another opportunity to show that you truly are interested in the university, not just another institution to apply to. Letters of recommendation are a window into other people's perspectives on you. They can help really emphasize some of your skills and talents, the experiences that you've had, also bring some perspective to your application. When it comes to the extracurricular activities, we're looking for quality over quantity. We want to know what your passions are, your time commitment to those, how you were able to manage the time requirements for your activities, as well as your academic commitments. And we understand too that given the current situation, that those may have been impacted by the pandemic. So understanding that will certainly be part of our holistic read of your application. The same goes for transcripts. We of course are looking to see that our students are engaged in rigorous academics. We know that not all high schools provide the same types of courses. So we are going to look not only at your transcript itself, but also look at your individual high schools to understand what opportunities were available to you and which ones you took advantage of. This year, because of the pandemic, the university is SAT, ACT optional, will actually be optional for the next 3 years. This means, and I can't say it strongly enough, your application will be in no way harmed if you are unable to submit scores to us. So please definitely don't hesitate to send in your application minus those scores. If you're able to take them, that's great, send them along. They can't hurt your application. These give you a idea of the range of the GPA scores that we've seen on campus. But again, remember, we are reading applications holistically. So if you don't find that you fall into these average ranges, please don't discount yourself. If you are really interested in attending UMass Amherst, give us the opportunity to review your application. Timelines are really important, so let's talk about dates that you want to keep in mind. First would be this early action deadline, which is coming up very quickly on November 5th. The other then, of course, is the regular decision, January 15. I'm often asked what the difference is or if there's an advantage to one date over the other. The answer is no. In terms of our process, there is no advantage or disadvantage. It really comes down to when is your application complete and you feel it's reflective of your accomplishments. That's the time to submit the application. Now we know that students may be holding off on submitting their application, winning another semester of senior grades on their transcripts. Others may be really complete and feel as though they're ready to hit that submit button now. So you're going to have to make that decision individually. Just know that once your application hits our desk, we are going to spend just as much time on our early action as our regular decision. And of course, then you will have time to consider your financial aid package as well. You just need to submit that FAFSA in order to receive that package. No matter what, early action or regular decision, the date for deposit is May 1. So you'll have time to really consider all your options and perhaps other offers for enrollment as well. But definitely stay in contact with us throughout this process so that we can answer your questions and give you all the information you need to make an informed decision. In terms of cost, for out-of-state tuition, this past year, we came to about $50,000. That included tuition and fees as well as room and board. We do offer both merit and need-based scholarships. What's great is that you do not have to submit an additional application for the merit scholarships. That's all part of the application process. All applications will be considered for merit scholarships. We have a very active financial aid office. Please call them with any questions that you may have regarding your individual circumstances. Other online events to connect with us include conversations with UMass, as well as a virtual student guided visit of the campus. Both of these are run by our students, so it's really an opportunity to have a conversation with them. If you'd rather not even have that level of interaction though, you can go anytime to our website to take a virtual tour. If you have questions, please absolutely send those to us. The mail at admissions is a general inbox. It will come to individuals like myself or Alex. If you'd like to reach our students directly, and we do have about 63 student tour guides, you can reach them at tours@umass.edu. It's great. Any question you have, you're going to find someone who's had experience with it and able to answer it. At the risk of sounding totally dorky, follow us on social media. I recommend our Twitter or Instagram accounts. Those are often taken over by students. So it's a great way to learn more about the university itself. At this point, I'm gonna just kind of stop the share and check in with Alex. I don't know if we have any additional questions out there. I know we're running out of time.
Sorry, we do not. Actually, one just popped up.
Fantastic.
Do you allow dual enrollment to high school students who are participating in college and high school to transfer their credits when they apply?
So if you have other credits from another college, then absolutely those would be considered by our registrar for to be transferred in. Similarly with AP and honors courses as well. If that were a factor that was a deciding factor in whether or not you enrolled, we can get that question answered for you in advance of you depositing. Well, fantastic. I think, Liz, if you could just name one thing that you think stands out for why you chose UMass, I think that'd be a great way for us to end this session.
I would say it's the people for me. I had a lot of guaranteed transfer to big Boston schools when I applied to the university. So I really came in being like, maybe it's just going to be one semester here. But I absolutely fell in love with the people that I met. And I cannot imagine going anywhere else. If I were 4 years younger and making this decision again, knowing what I know now, I would exactly make the same decision. So I love my experiences here, and I'm sad that you guys are kicking me out at this point. But I'm glad I have a huge community that I'm going into of UMass alumni.
Oh, thank you so much, Liz. And we will turn it now over. Thank you all for joining us today.
Wonderful job. Thank you so much, Rachel and Liz and Alex. Great presentation. And I will go ahead and close us out. So thank you once again to all of you for attending this session. Thank you to our facilitators. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions at pacac.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording, as well as all of the other session recordings at pacac.org. Thank you again to everyone, and have a wonderful rest of the day.